Well, the inspiration for this project, certainly after knowing what the facility was and what it was going to do, state-of-the-art research in magnetic resonance imaging, this project really is thinking about the sort of the invisible world of what goes on here. They're using very powerful magnets, and the magnets are moving small atomic particles. And you can only imagine what's going on in these machines to develop this data and this really great information that they're going to use to make a healthier humanity. And in my work, I wanted to be able to convey that somehow to people as they come into the space. And it's a visual interpretation of what's going on inside of these big magnets. There will be two larger-than-life heads comprised of thousands of little pieces of stainless steel that are hung and balanced to move with the slightest bit of air. And at times, the movement could be suggestive of this sort of gathering of the data in an MRI, what that data might look like in a visual way. And sometimes it's represented as two-dimensional, and other times it's represented as three-dimensional. And this sculpture will convey that ambiguity between the 2D and the 3D. Typically, I use the natural forces to move my work, and they are outdoors. And that usually is the wind that provides the force to move the pieces. Indoors, there's less wind, obviously, so you can use the ambient air currents, which means that the material has to be very lightweight to respond. But if you want to have it be controlled a little more, well, I've worked on using fans, but not just having them on and off, but to control the flow rate with computers. So in other words, you could randomize the wind currents that would be affecting the sculpture. I think the challenge for this project was having to convey the concept to the committee. And when you're working with movement, you have a certain toolbox that you can use. We've had a couple of meetings sitting around a table. All kinds of issues come up when people are giving their presentations, and I think if you just sat in your room by yourself and didn't get any feedback, that probably wouldn't be too helpful to the final result. And in my case, I think one of the issues was scale. And scale's certainly a very subjective thing, and we had a half a dozen people in the room and a half a dozen opinions about it. And I think at the end of the day, we resolved some of those issues. I am very excited about this project, and this is really my first experience in Minneapolis. It seems really exciting. There's a lot of, seems like there's a lot of art in Minneapolis, a lot of support for the arts. And that's a great thing.